hadiths you have studied outline the Prophet's teachings on the individual conduct of Muslims. 10. B. How do Muslims benefit in their community life by following the guidance given in the Prophet's hadiths? 4. A. Hadith of the Prophet is the beacon of guidance for both individual conduct and matters concerning life in community. The Prophet instructed, through his ahadith, his followers about the responsibilities of individual Muslims. He emphasized on being sincere in fundamentals of Islam by saying, "Religion is sincerity." To whom? The Prophet said, "To God, His Book, His Messenger, the leaders of the Muslims, and to their common people." This hadith teaches Muslims to have firm belief in Tawhid and rejecting shirk. Similarly, a Muslim should believe in the Quran being the last and perfect divine message that was revealed to the last messenger of God. Moreover, Muslims are taught to support their leaders in maintaining peace in the country. It also teaches Muslims to think good about their fellows, and help them in times of need with sincerity. The Prophet linked the observance of the pillars of Islam with social conduct. According to a hadith, a man asked the Messenger of God, "Do you think that if I perform the obligatory prayers, fast in Ramadan, treat as lawful that which is lawful and treat as forbidden that which is forbidden, and do nothing further, I shall enter paradise?" He said, "Yes." Regular prayer and fasting are the two foundational pillars of Islam, and observance of these trains an individual to obey divine principles in other walks of life as well. Regular prayer and fasting train an individual Muslim to stay away from all haram acts and strive for the desirable and halal acts. This will help him enter paradise as promised by the Prophet. The Prophet trained his followers to eradicate evil in their surroundings with the help of available energies. He said, "Whosoever of you sees an evil action, let him change it with his hand, and if he is not able to do so then with his tongue, and if he is not able to do so, then with his heart, and that is the weakest of faith." This hadith teaches individual Muslims to be mindful of any evil or indecency or injustice erupting in a Muslim community. A Muslim is required to either use physical force against all evils or to condemn it verbally. If he is incapable of doing so, he should consider the evil as evil in order to keep his faith intact. This means if he fails to reject evil in his heart, he is likely to lose faith. The Prophet taught several ways of remembering God. He associated remembrance of God and struggle in his way with martyrdom. According to a hadith, the Messenger of God said, "Whom a martyr among you? O Messenger of whoever killed in the way of God is a martyr." He said, "In that case the martyrs of my community will be very few. He who is killed in the way of God is a martyr. He who dies a natural death in the way of God is a martyr. He who dies in the plague is a martyr. He who dies of cholera in the way of God is a martyr." This hadith promises the reward of martyrdom for those fighting in God's way as well as those dying a painful death while remembering God. This means a believer should retain his faith while going for jihad by dedicating all his efforts to the pleasure of God. Similarly, those who become victim of fatal diseases or epidemics like plague and COVID-19 should also patiently remember God till their death. God will give them reward of martyrdom in return for their patience and endurance. The Prophet always instructed Muslims to earn by hard work and fair means, and be self-dependent in ordinary chores of life. He used to patch his garments and mend his shoes himself, and expected the same form his followers. He declared, "No one eats better food than that which he eats out of the work of his hand." Here the Prophet has stressed on the importance of a strong belief in God's predestination as well as dignity of labor. Muslims believe that God has predestined their share of income or rizq, and it is their choice to earn the same by halal or haram means. Similarly, a true Muslim should not hesitate in working for himself. He should remember this saying of the Prophet, "One who works for himself is a friend of God." B. The Prophet's ahadith provide full guidance about training the Muslims to strengthen communal ties. His teachings can be summed up in his instruction to Muslims, "Every one of you is a custodian and every one of you will be answerable about his subjects." So, Muslims should foster fraternal love by looking after their poor fellows, including the orphans and the widowed women. They should make collective efforts to help those in need by raising funds and giving them to the needy fellows secretly. By following the Prophet's hadiths, Muslims collectively struggle against evil and wrongdoing so that they live their lives according to the teachings of the Prophet. Muslims should be merciful and kind towards each other because the Prophet highlighted its importance by his sayings and deeds. By doing so, they are likely to be blessed by God's pleasure and goodwill. 3. A. Write an account of the achievements of Abu Bakr as the first Caliph of Islam. 10. B. Which was his greatest contribution as Caliph? Give reasons for your answer. 4. A. Hazrat Abu Bakr was elected as the successor Caliph of the Prophet at a critical time. Being a staunch follower of the Prophet, he quickly dispatched the Muslim army under Hazrat Usama bin Zayd that had returned to Medina on hearing the news of the Prophet's death. Most of the senior companions advised the Caliph to keep that army in Medina, but Hazrat Abu Bakr sent this army towards Syria. The expedition was successful as many of the rebel tribes on the Arab-Syria border were defeated. One of his greatest achievements was his elimination of the apostate tribes and the false prophets. Hazrat Abu Bakr successfully dealt with an uprising by the Bedouin tribes that had attacked Medina shortly after his assuming the caliphate. Then he defeated in the wars of Ridda apostasy or heresy. Rebel tribes in Bahrain near the Euphrates, Buzaka in the north of Medina, Yamama in central Arabia, Oman in the southeastern Arabia, and Mara, Hadramaut and Yemen had renounced Islam after the death of the Prophet. Most of these refused to pay zakat by saying that this payment was subject to the life of the Prophet. Moreover, there were 4 false prophets in various parts of Arabia. Hazrat Abu Bakr divided his army into 11 battalions and sent them against the rebel tribes and the false prophets. Hazrat Khalid bin Walid defeated the false prophet Tulayha in the Battle of Buzaka. Then his army defeated and killed Musailma the liar in the Battle of Yamama. Abu Umayyah defeated the followers of the false prophet Aswad Ansi, who himself had been killed during the last days of the Holy Prophet. Sajja, the Christian impostor, fled to her native land Mesopotamia without fighting and perhaps embraced Islam. Thus within 2 years all the rebels had been brought back to the fold of Islam. The greatest service of Hazrat Abu Bakr was the compilation of the Quran. Hundreds of Hufaz memorizers of the Quran had been killed in the Battle of Yamama. Hazrat Umar feared the danger of loss of Quranic parts resulting from such killings and persuaded the Caliph to compile the Quran. Though initially reluctant, the Caliph finally agreed. He appointed Hazrat Zayd bin Thabit at the head of several scribes to compile the Quran. This team, assisted by Hazrat Umar, collected each verse and surah and put all the surahs at one place in the form of loose sheets. This was called the Mushaf. Hazrat Abu Bakr laid down a strong foundation of an administrative system that was followed by the next caliphs. Since he was elected in a democratic way, he conducted the state affairs by consulting the Majlisi Shura that comprised prominent companions from the Muhajirin and Ansar. Ibn Sa'd reported, whenever a new issue arose, Abu Bakr would always seek the advice of senior companions like Umar, Uthman, Ali, Abdurrahman bin Auf, Mu'ad bin Jabal, Ubay bin Ka'b and Zayd bin Thabit. He accepted the advice of Hazrat Ali for sending the expedition to Syria under Usama bin Zayd. He divided the empire into provinces and districts for the sake of efficient administration. Medina, Makkah, Taif, Sana'a, Hadramaut, Bahrain and Dorma al-Jandal were all provinces founded by him. He retained the governors emils of the provinces and other officers appointed by the Prophet. While appointing the governors, he would summon them and explain to them their duties. Though a tender-hearted person, the Caliph would not hesitate in admonishing or punishing his officers for any negligence in their duties. There was no regular police department, but the Caliph maintained law and order in the light of Quran and Sunnah successfully. He enforced the punishment of 40 stripes for drinking wine that had been prescribed by the Prophet. He maintained the state finance quite efficiently by distributing the revenue collected from all sources quickly among his people. He ensured collection of zakat by suppressing the apostate tribes. He also organized the army in a wise way. He would divide the army into battalions before dispatching it on an expedition. Horses and camels were kept in an area of the Baki region. This administrative setup was perfected later by the second caliph. After achieving internal stability, the caliph turned towards the threats from the Persian empires. During his caliphate, many parts of Iraq and some parts of Syria were conquered. B. Quran was the greatest achievement of Hazrat Abu Bakr. By doing so, he ensured unity and integrity of the Ummah at a critical time. The Prophet had recently left this world, and the rebel forces against Islam had suddenly become active. The Prophet had not left any instruction about compiling the Quran. Martyrdom of hundreds of Hufaz in the Battle of Yamama created a serious danger of the loss of parts of the Quran. This would have led to very serious consequences. The Caliph, using his discretionary powers on the advice of Hazrat Umar, saved the Quran from any such danger. He also set an example of universal ijma of the Muslim world by this noble service. Thus he fulfilled God's promise about protecting his last message: "We indeed sent down the message and we will surely guard it against corruption." 15:9 Al-Hijr. Describe any three of the following elements of pilgrimage: Hajj. Ihram, garment worn. Sarai, running between the hills of Safa and Marwa. Rumi, stoning the Jamarat, and Qurbani, sacrifice. 10. B. Why do you think pilgrims strive so hard to touch the black stone, Hajar al-Aswad? 4. ANS, A. Ihram. Ihram is the dress code as well as a state of observing Hajj and Umrah rituals. Before donning Ihram, the pilgrim should remove extra hair, take a bath and perform wudu. For men, the Ihram comprises two seamless sheets of white cloth, one for the upper and one for the lower half of body. They should keep their heads, dorsum of foot and ankles uncovered. For women, their ordinary clothes become Ihram, covering their entire body except for face, hands, and feet. After putting on Ihram, pilgrims start reciting Talbiyah, and are barred from all acts of violence, using perfumed soap, perfume, and cutting their nails or hair. They cannot take a regular bath, though they are allowed to splash water on their bodies to beat the summer heat. Sa'i. After Tawaf-i-Qudum on 8th Dhu al-Hajj, or after Tawaf-i-Ziyarah on 10th, 11th or 12th Dhu al-Hajj. Pilgrims make 7 walks between Safa and Marwa hills. During each walk, men should pace up between the 2 green pillars illuminated by green light. On reaching each hill, pilgrims should look at the Kaaba. Sa'i is performed in commemoration of Hazrat. Run between the 2 hills in search of water to quench the thirst of her son Hazrat Ismail. Moreover, Hazrat Ibrahim was going to sacrifice Hazrat Ismail at Marwa hill. For these reasons, the Quran mentions the hills as symbols of God. Verily, Safa and Marwa are among the symbols of God. Hence, whoever performs Hajj to the house or makes Umrah will find that it is no sin for him to ambulate between the two. 2:158 Al-Baqarah. This verse is recited by pilgrims when they start Sa'i from Safa hill, and when they reach Marwa. During Sa'i, other supplications and Druid are also recited. Rumi. It literally means to throw something. It is a wajib ritual of Hajj in which pilgrims pelt the 3 jamarat or pillars erected in Mina. Rumi is performed in remembrance of Hazrat Ibrahim's rejection of Satan while taking his son Hazrat Ismail for sacrificing him in the way of Hod. From obeying God's command at 3 places in the plain of Mina. Accordingly, pilgrims perform Rumi on 10th to 12th Dhu al-Hajj. They collect 49 or more pebbles from the plain of Muzdalifah in the morning of 10th Dhu al-Hajj. On reaching Mina, They pelt the grand pillar, Jamara-i Akaba Kubra. They start Rummi by reciting Bismillah Allah Akbar, and holding one pebble between their thumb and index finger, throw it towards the Jamara. After this they stop reciting Talbiyah, and then pelt the Jamara with the remaining 6 pebbles one by one. On 10th Dhu al-Hajj, the Masnoon timing is from the sunrise till Zawal. On 11th and 12th the recommend time is from Zawal till Maghrib. After the first Rummi, those performing Hajj Ifrad, residents of Makkah, also get their heads shaven halak or hair shortened qaza, as sacrifice is not obligatory for them. On 11th and 12th Dhu al-Hajj, first of all Rummi of Surah is performed in the same manner, and supplication is made facing the Qibla. Then Rummi of Jamara-i Wuta, middle one, is performed, and supplication is made facing the Qibla. Then Rummi of Jamara-i Akaba is made, and pilgrims leave the place without any supplication. Qurbani sacrifice, on 10th Dhu al-Hajj, is called Yawm al-Adiyah or Yawm al-Nar, day of sacrifice. After performing Rummi, pilgrims observe the ritual of sacrifice in commemoration of Prophet Ibrahim's readiness to sacrifice his son Prophet Ismail on God's command. The Quran pays tributes to his spirit of sacrifice, and we called to him, "You, Ibrahim, have already fulfilled the vision of sacrifice." 37, 105, Al-Safat. Pilgrims are thus reminded to be ready to sacrifice their most valued assets in the cause of God. Sacrifice is obligatory for Mutamattai and Karin pilgrims. It is not farz for those performing Hajj Ifrad. B. This is the Prophet to start tawaf by kissing or touching the black stone. Following this sunnah, the pilgrims are reminded of the history of this stone and the Kaaba. A hadith of the Prophet states, "The black stone descended from paradise, and it was whiter than milk, but it became due to the sins of Adam's children." The pilgrims thus imagine the life in paradise as well as develop a fear of God that will keep them from committing sins. They recall to their mind Hazrat Ibrahim, the builder of the house of God. Thus also the lineage A. Give a detailed account of the following events. The opposition faced by Ali when he became Caliph and the Battle of Camel. 10. B. In your opinion, what was the greatest threat faced by Ali during his caliphate? 4. ANS. A. The opposition. Hazrat Ali was elected in very controversial circumstances. Many prominent companions did not perform bayat on his hand, though most of them promised to stay neutral. However, the Caliph was accused of manipulating the political crisis surrounding the martyrdom of Caliph Uthman. Some prominent rebels against Caliph Uthman, like Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, were strong supporters of Hazrat Ali. This raised doubts in the minds of many Muslims. They thought that he was a reluctant arbitrator between Hazrat Uthman and the team of rebels. In fact, Hazrat Ali had sincerely tried to save Hazrat Uthman by appointing his sons Hazrat Hassan and Hazrat Hussein to stand guard at the house of the Caliph. Unfortunately, all this was ignored by his critics. Hazrat Muawiyah, a relative of Caliph Uthman, first refused to acknowledge Hazrat Ali as the Caliph, and then disobeyed his orders to vacate the office of governorship of Syria. There was a loud demand for a quick action against the killers of Hazrat Uthman. Hazrat Ali, however, thought that the governors of Hazrat Uthman were the main reason of all troubles faced by the third caliph that eventually led to his martyrdom. Therefore, acting upon his own strategy, he ordered dismissal of all the governors of Caliph Uthman. This strategy unfortunately proved counterproductive. Hazrat Talha and Hazrat Zubayr performed bayat at the hand of Hazrat Ali, and expected the Caliph would take quick action against the killers of Hazrat Uthman. They did not know how disunited Muslims in various parts of the Arab Empire had become. When they saw Hazrat Ali, instead of punishing the killers of Uthman, had started dismissing Hazrat Uthman's governance. This disappointed both the companions and they turned against the Caliph, saying that they were forced to perform bayat of Hazrat Ali. They contacted Hazrat Aisha in Makkah. She was about to leave for Medina after Hajj, when she heard about Hazrat Ali's election. She assumed that he had been elected by the support of the killers of Hazrat Uthman. Hazrat Ali, therefore, decided to change the governors of Hazrat Uthman. Though Hazrat Ali had tried a peaceful arbitration of the Caliph with rebels, and appointed Hazrat Hassan to protect the Caliph, she stayed back, and together with Hazrat Talha and Hazrat Zubayr, prepared a plan of civil disobedience. Hazrat Talha and Hazrat Zubayr backed out their loyalty to the Caliph, saying they had been forced to acknowledge him as the Caliph. They had three options before them: strike against the Caliph at Medina, join forces with Muawiyah, who had not acknowledged Hazrat Ali as Caliph because as a new made he wanted immediate action against the killers of Hazrat Uthman, or seek support from one of the three garrison cities. Finally, they decided to invade Basra. All the three raised an army of around 900 troops, as most of the Muslims did not want to fight fellow Muslims. They marched towards Basra. This created serious problems for Hazrat Ali, as he had planned to take action against Hazrat Muawiyah. Hazrat Ali left for Kufa with 700 soldiers against the advice of many supporters. He thought he would persuade the three disenchanted companions in Kufa by negotiations. On his way he was informed the combined army of Hazrat Talha, Hazrat Zubayr, and Hazrat Aisha had reached Basra. Hazrat Ali asked Hazrat Hassan to arrange more troops, who brought 7,000 Kufan soldiers. The total army of the Caliph was around 10,000. In Kufa, the army under Hazrat Aisha had taken control from Uthman bin Hanif, Hazrat Ali's governor, after a fierce fight. Hazrat Ali reached an open field near Basra where Hazrat Aisha's army had camped. Both sides held negotiations for peace. Hazrat Talha and Hazrat Zubayr met the Caliph and agreed on a truce, but the extremists in both armies foiled these efforts and the battle suddenly started in the second week of November, 656. Hazrat Talha was killed by an arrow shot by Marwan bin Hakam, while Hazrat Zubayr was fatally wounded and died after he had left the battlefield. The fight continued till late afternoon and several troops had been killed. Hazrat Ali ordered to cut down the legs of Hazrat Aisha's camel, as he knew the battle would not stop as long as Hazrat Aisha was visible to her army. Hazrat Aisha was slightly wounded, and Hazrat Ali sent her brother Muhammad bin Abu Bakr to look after her. She was escorted respectfully to her tent, and she quit politics after this. This ended the first civil war Futuna of Islam that also marked the beginning of a permanent divide among Muslims. B. Muawiyah was the greatest threat for Hazrat Ali. His refusal to acknowledge Hazrat Ali as a caliph laid the foundation of future troubles for the caliph. He forced the caliph to fight a second civil war of Islam, the Battle of Siffin. In this battle several thousand Muslims killed each other, and this greatly weakened Hazrat Ali's grip on the state affairs. As a result of this battle, the Caliph faced another trouble, the Kharijites. While the Caliph was tackling this new threat, Hazrat Muawiyah fully exploited the scenario and began to capture various provinces from the Caliph. He first took control of Egypt and then maneuvered the control of other provinces. Finally, he became so problematic that in 660 AD he declared himself as the Caliph. Due to all these moves of Muawiyah, the Kharijites successfully accomplished their mission of martyrdom of Hazrat Ali.